People who live on Paso Grill Beach won't soon forget Debby. Eagle 8 shows what high winds did to the roofs of some homes near the water. Witnesses reported seeing a tornado, but the National Weather Service has yet to confirm that. Amazingly, no one was seriously hurt. We have 8 on your side team coverage of Tropical Storm Debby. Reporters standing by live in Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Hernando counties. But Storm Team 8 Chief Meteorologist Steve Jerve is getting us started from our forecast center tonight. Steve, tell us what Debby's looking like right now.
Well, it's still 45-mile-per-hour winds, Gale. We have a tropical storm warning in place for coastal areas of the Bay Area, especially the high seas, occasionally squalls that can produce tornadoes, and thus we have a tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. There again, you see the winds at the Los Don Cesar. We're showing you this camera in other spots in the Bay Area, largely because of the impressive winds coming off the Gulf of Mexico. You can see southwest there at 39 miles per hour, but we've seen winds 50 miles per hour plus at this location throughout the afternoon. It's not an official site, 6 feet above the ground. It's a bit higher on the building itself at the Los Don Cesar, but it does give you the idea that it's a very, very windy afternoon here this afternoon. Just as strong as it was yesterday, believe it or not, without the number of severe weather events that we had. Over 30 warnings. We had tornado warnings, especially around the Bay Area. 45 mile per hour, the current number. As I mentioned, you can see the forecast track to the northeast for the short term. May make landfall perhaps sometime tomorrow and then weaken, according to the National Hurricane Center. What they've done here is adopted a faster movement with the storm. In other words, it'll move a little quicker. Remember, we were talking about possibly 5 days dealing with this storm slowly moving over the northern part of the state, but perhaps reacting to an upper level trough may get a little bit of a kick out sooner and eventually possibly re-strengthening midweek or late week out over the Atlantic and then possibly moving up the East Coast from there. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Again, some computer models still diverging in opinions, but many more are kind of coming in more in line with that official track from the Hurricane Center. What this means for us is that we have a southerly flow and southwesterly flow around the southern side of Tropical Storm Debby, and for us, what that does is it pushes water into the bay, so we have to watch our high tide times around the region. 6:30, by the way, is the next upcoming high tide at St. Petersburg Pier. 6:30 p.m. this evening, so that is going to continue to cause local flooding. Rainfall not as much certainly as yesterday, but occasional strong squalls that could move across the area and produce some brief heavy downpours, as well as some strong wind gusts around the area. So keep that in mind if you're going to be out this evening, certainly, as well as the flooding times if you live in a flood-prone area like Shore Acres or perhaps Snell Isle, where they're susceptible to those high tides.
All right, Steve, thanks. And of course, we'll be checking back with you in just a bit.
Well, look at what's going on outside. We showed you that St. Pete cam at the top of the newscast. Very windy weather out there. Close to 50-mile-per-hour winds. You can see here at the news center downtown, 33 miles per hour. And you can tell by the cameras kind of bouncing around a little bit. The strong winds continue to come into the area. 1.74 inches of rainfall there in the last 24 hours. That's at St. Leo. You can see a south wind now. Not too bad at 14 miles per hour, but perhaps a few showers around the area as well. Los Don Cesar, you can see 50 miles per hour right now with a southwesterly flow. And I kind of want to work my way back around to the plantation camera there at Crystal River. We have a south wind there at 6 miles per hour, a little more tranquil at the moment. But yesterday we noted over 9 inches of rain, so probably combined with that, over 10 inches of rain there. Tropical storm warning in place for most of the Bay Area coastal regions. High winds, higher seas, obviously coastal flooding. That's the main reason for issuing that. Radar continues to show shower activity coming into coastal areas. You can see around Newport Richey some rain. And these are fast, squally kind of showers and can come with some brief, strong wind gusts too. Northern areas, Citrus, Hernando, Pasco, that's what we saw on the camera there. Perhaps picking up a few showers around the Dade City area, San Antonio. And then farther south, again, a tight little line moving from south to north right around central Sarasota County. So certainly the rain is out there. The last 24 hours on Max Radar estimated, you can see that little red blob down there, maybe up to 5-6 inches of rain. So the darker colors indicated perhaps 4 or 5 inches of rain. Some spots 10 inches of rain plus yesterday. 78 degrees, a forecast low. Higher humidity, warmer conditions, southerly flow, going to keep the overnight low temperature warm. It's 82 degrees at Tampa International Airport. We have a south wind now at 25 miles per hour at the airport. Southwest winds at 26 at St. Pete's Whitted Airport. 83 degrees the current temp. Right now, it's 79 degrees in Lakeland and Brandon, also out in Bradenton and Northport. and also Sebring. 80 degrees out in Weeki Wachee, 82 Clearwater, 83 in Brooksville. Again, we look at the winds, and they're primarily from the south, a little bit of a southwesterly influence, but over the next 24 to 48 hours, as Debby makes its approach to the coast, we may see more of a northwesterly flow. You can see the gusts there at 40 miles per hour into St. Pete, Sarasota, and all the way up to 29 miles per hour in both Lakeland and Winter Haven. Got the time straightened out a little bit here for you. You can see it's sped up in terms of the timing of the movement of the system itself. That's around 2 a.m. for tomorrow morning. That's around tomorrow afternoon. So again, moving this faster inland. Some of the computer models suggested we'd be dealing with this thing for 5 days. Well, it looks like the National Hurricane Center has taken more of the suggestion of the European computer model and moved it off to the east and possibly re-strengthening this storm once it goes out over the Atlantic and the warmer Gulf Stream waters. There again, you see the circulation from Tropical Storm Debby pretty close to the Apalachicola Big Bend area. All these strong winds going into the coastline. That's why we need to watch the high tide, which at St. Pete Pier tonight is around 6:30. Again, 6:30, the high tide time for tonight. Tornado watch in effect for us here throughout the evening hours. 7-day forecast keeps a decent chance of showers in the forecast, 60% the next several days. Not as rainy as it was yesterday, but occasional showers like you just saw on the radar. Squally little showers that race across the area, give you a brief downpours and then move away. So we'll just say windy through this period all the way in probably into the end of the week, and our rain chances diminish as the system gets farther and farther away. So they've actually sped up the track with this thing, and that's a good thing in terms of rainfall and coastal flooding. We want to get this out of here as soon as we can.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, alrighty.
Crazy stuff out there.
No question, and we'll be back with more in just a moment, so stay with us.